Hello, beautiful people. I wanted to show you all today how to pickle just about anything. You really can pickle just about anything. You can pickle vegetables. I've seen people pickle eggs and pig's feet. I don't ever want to try any of that. But pickling is super easy, and it's a great way to save vegetables or other things that may be getting close to going bad. Now, when you pickle it, you're actually going to use vinegar, which has a high acidity, and that allows us to just water bath it. Now, I do can other things, for example, potatoes, and I'll just do that in water. And that, though, because I'm not using the vinegar with the high acidity, that requires me to pressure can. So this is truly pickling, which again does allow us to water bath. So I'm gonna go ahead and pickle hot peppers today. You can pickle jalapenos. I do this all the time, so I don't have to buy them in the store. I just do fresh jalapenos. Today, though, I have a surplus of hot peppers. I bought these to do my kick and rotel and my salsa, and I have a lot left over, but I don't want these to go to waste because I know I'm going to be doing another batch of my kick and rotel and my salsa in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and can these, and that will allow me to be able to use them in a future recipe. Or if you're like my husband who likes really hot stuff, you can pull these out of the pantry, put them on tacos, other various things like subs, and have your hot peppers for that as well. So I'm gonna do some in the half pint for putting in the fridge and using just for everyday use. And I'm gonna put some in quart-sized jars so I can use them later in another recipe. Again, pickling is super easy. All you're gonna do is sterilize your jars, your rims, and your lids like we always do. You're gonna need some food grade vinegar. I also used pickling or canning salt. This just helps to keep that brine clear. If you see here how clear this is, once you water bath it and it stays on the shelf. If you don't use it, it can get a little bit cloudy. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a little less visually appealing. And then when I do a vegetable like peppers or jalapenos or onions or anything like that, I always use a crisper. This one is just Extra Crunch by Mrs. Wages. This is super easy to use. And this prevents those vegetables from getting mushy in the can. I really don't like the mushy stuff. So this is great for keeping it crispy. I also use this in my pickles and that sort of thing. So all you have to do is, like I said, sterilize your jars, get your ingredients together. You're gonna wanna wash these really well, and then we will take them over to the sink and we will start getting them cut up. Now, some of these I'm going to go ahead and core to remove the core and the seeds. For those of you who don't know, with a pepper, the oil is what holds the heat of the pepper, and that's going to be on the seeds and the core. So if you don't want it hot, but you like the flavor of the pepper, core it, and you can add it to your recipe, and it's going to be a mild type heat. Now, if you're like my husband and you love heat, you will keep the core in there and just slice it up and go ahead and add it to your jars. So I have quite a bit here to slice up. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done and place them in my jars, and then we will go on to the next step. Now that I'm done chopping up my peppers, I ended up with 2 quarts of hot peppers. I have 6 half pints of hot peppers, and I went ahead and did some jalapenos too that I had in the refrigerator, and I have 3 half pints of those. So the easy part, how to pickle them so we don't let them go to waste. Really, really easy. The best way to do it is 1-to-1 ratio of boiling water, which I already have in here, and then your food grade vinegar. So I've already done half of a jar of the boiling water, and so I'm going to go ahead and get my vinegar in there now. And you're just going to fill it until it's about 1/4 inch from the top for all of these. Once you have your 1-to-1 ratio of boiling water and vinegar, then you can move on to your extra crisp if you want to add this. This is optional. I just don't like anything mushy. I like it to come out tasting fresh and crispy. So for this, you are gonna add 1/4 teaspoon to your quart jars. You're gonna add 1/8 of a teaspoon to your pint-sized jars, and 1/16 of a teaspoon to your half-pint jars. So I've already added that. The next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and add your pickling salt, so that way your brine does not get cloudy. This is optional as well. You don't have to use this. I do, just because I like that brine to stay nice and clear. Same ratio for this. You're gonna use 1/4 teaspoon in your quart size, 1/8 teaspoon in your pints, and 1/16 in your half pints. Once you have all of your salt, your extra crisp, your boiling water, your vinegar, all of that in there, you are going to need a clean, dry cloth to clean off the top of your jar. And then you're gonna go ahead and take one of your sterilized rims and lids, and you're gonna go ahead and get those on there, and you're gonna hand tighten them. Let me go ahead and get all of these jars to that point, and I'll show you how we're gonna water bath. I have all of my jars in the canner right now, and I wanted to go ahead and show you because I have multiple sizes, right? I've got the 2-quart, and then I have the other ones that are half pints. So when I loaded my water bath, I went ahead and put the quarts each opposite of each other, and then loaded my half pints in there around it. So technically the quarts would take about 45 minutes to go ahead and water bath, and then the half pints take less than that. But I'm always gonna water bath with the amount of time based on my largest jar that's in the water bath, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do this for the full 45 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more water in there, so that way it's a little closer to the top of those quart jars. I'm gonna put the lid on there, and then as soon as that water starts to boil, and I'm talking about like a really good rolling boil, right? So as soon as you start to see it sort of boil, then you might want to wait another 5 or 10 minutes until you get that really good boil going. And then you're going to start your time for that 45 minutes. So let's give it 45 minutes in the water bath, and I will show you what it looks like when it comes out. So our peppers have a water bath for 45 minutes, and they are now done. What we're gonna do is set them aside and let them sit for at least 12 hours. After that, we'll go through and we will check them. Like I showed you in other videos, you're just gonna push on the top here, and if there's no give or you don't hear a clicking sound, that means it is sealed. Sometimes you'll press on them and you'll hear that pop and they'll seal. All right, here's one that's not sealed. So can you see that give as I'm pushing on it? You might not be able to hear the clicking sound, but this one that is sealed, when I push, it's not moving. So that's what you're looking for. You're just gonna, after 12 hours, go through and check all of them and see which ones have sealed, like this one, and which ones have not, like this one. The ones that have not sealed, I have this great little device. It will vacuum seal the jars if they don't seal from the water bath. This is much easier than having to rebath them for another 45 minutes and heat up your kitchen and all of that. As long as you do not open this jar, you can use this little device. So you just take the ring off. The seal is actually seated on there. It's just not completely sealed. So this little device, you can get them on Amazon for like 25 bucks. It's just a vacuum sealer for mason jars. You're just gonna pop that right on there like this. You're gonna hit the power button, and it takes about a minute, and once it's done, this jar will be sealed. So again, if it doesn't seal during the water bath and it's been 12 hours, you can use this device as long as you don't remove the top and re-expose it to any bacteria that might be in the air. As long as you can just remove the ring, the lid stays on there, pop this on, hit the power button, and this will vacuum seal it for you. Otherwise, you have to re-water bath it, and that's just a huge pain. I hope that you found this video useful. I hope that this allows you to save some money by being able to put up and can vegetables before they go bad, and later be able to go back and get them out of your pantry and be able to use them in other recipes. versus throwing them away. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to teaching you something else soon in the future. Thank you.